So I don't know that I would change anything about Wriothesley. Chris, the director, let me do some really cool things with him that kind of broke the anime mold for me. Um, the specific example that comes to mind was when we started doing like attack sounds, right? Like fighting sounds. I was like, look, Chris, can we please not do yeah, yeah? Can we please not do the anime thing? And he was like, well, what would you do? And I was like, well, he's a boxer, right? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, boxers don't do that when they fight. They just exhale because they're used to, I've done plenty of martial arts training. When you throw a strike, you exhale so that if you get counter struck, you don't get that wind knocked out of you. It's always so that's where it got all of my sounds are not very standard, right? They're all like like the actual sounds that a boxer would make as he strikes. And it creates a really cool dynamic. So there's not much I'd change about Wriothesley, to be totally honest. I can't think of anything because they let me do my thing, which is cool, which is not always the case.
So what if you never practiced like martial arts or anything, maybe we would not have the same like punch sounds and stuff like that?
It's possible I would have just fallen back on the okay, hya, ta, hya, kya, like all that stuff, right? Which has its place. I'm not knocking it, but it didn't feel right.
Yeah. Question 7, would you rather spawn in Digimon Frontier or Power Rangers?
Well, I guess it kind of depends. Like, am I spawning as me? And also, like, I don't think I've seen Digimon Frontier. Is that a game that
Me
has to do with
neither.
Digimon?
I think isn't it the Digimon anime or yeah, I think it's the Digimon anime.
Oh, okay.
It's the old one.
I don't know. I was like obsessed with Power Rangers when I was little. So I think I have to go with Power Rangers. But again, it really depends, like any world depends on who you are in it. If I'm a
Yeah,
putty,
definitely.
I don't want to be in Power Rangers, right? Like, but if I'm piloting a Zord, yeah, okay, I'm in.
Question 8, what state of mind do you set yourself in when switching from your normal voice to the characters?
I always find this to be, and everybody approaches acting it differently. I don't generally prepare. I don't have rituals. I don't have warm-ups. I just do the thing. And the only thing I usually need if I'm coming back to a character is vocal reference, right? They'll just play like, hey, play and repeat, and they'll play me a line I did last time. I'll repeat it. They'll play me a line I did last time, and that's usually enough. There's not really like a set mindset that I'll get into, but just kind of like while I'm in it, like I've said, I don't really prepare. While I'm in it, it becomes mostly about perspective. I teach a ton about this. That it has nothing to do, because like Wriothesley's voice, right? Not super different from my voice. Really not. It sinks a little lower. What I'm using is a different perspective. And that's what it always is. Trying to maintain, once you figure out a character's perspective, you can then maintain that character forever. Claude, not much different from my voice, just a different perspective. Fox, not much different from my voice, just a different perspective. No one looks at Ryan Reynolds in 8 different movies and go, he's just using the same voice, right? They're different. They're different perspectives. So keeping that perspective core is basically how I maintain characters.
Next question from Conspicuous Spy. Being the voice of Claude and Wriothesley, would you say you have a preference for a type of character to voice? Also, happy 5th anniversary to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Verdun win forever.
Nice. So, I have 2 kinds of characters that I like voicing probably the best, and I very rarely do them. One of them is comic relief, and the other one is like a villain, right? I don't really have like your big evil villain things. So when I do get to do it, it's fun because it's unique. And it typically requires me to do something different because I don't necessarily have like, I'm a villain, right? Like that's not my voice print. You're going to hire JB Blanc or Steve Bloom or something like that for that. So when I do a villain, I typically get to go like crazy unhinged. I was in an anime called Cells at Work, and I played a piece of bacteria that gives you diarrhea, right? and like the villain in that, and I got to do this crazy, like almost like Ed Wynn impression where it was all over the place. Uh, and he was a villain, right? Like so it was a combination of comic relief and villain. Those are the two characters that I find the most fun to play. But obviously, like your protags, Wriothesley and Claude, you can dig into them a bit deeper just because there's always so much more material behind them. That's all.
Yeah. Nice. Question 10 from Quiet One. What do you see Sijwin as?
I can't see Sijwin. She's very short. Sijwin, it was funny. I kind of see her as like a lot of people are like, yeah, it's like, she's your bunny daughter, right? And I get that, right? I'm very on board with that idea of like her being Wriothesley's little like bunny daughter. But she plays with it, like she plays him so much, like she pranks him and stuff like that. So it is a little bit like that. Maybe like, let's say like a niece, right? It doesn't quite feel father-daughter, but maybe like if Wriothesley was like her fun uncle. I think that's more along the idea.
Fair. Question 11. What was the most intriguing voice line you said when it came to voicing Wriothesley from Starshine?
Yeah, I mean, if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification. It's probably like my favorite line that he's said. Although he said a lot of great stuff. That's probably the one, because it was just such an interesting moment to say that like I'm a man of rules, but they don't apply to me. Thanks, So.
Yeah. And then I think it's the last question from the first 12 question. As the VA, how much do you like how Wriothesley's character building was executed? Be it playstyle, lore, interactions with other characters and quests, etc. from you now.
So I'll be completely honest in the fact that like I haven't gotten to Fontaine yet, while in my playthrough of the game. It's fuzzy. I don't really know how it was executed, because the way you record it isn't always chronological, and it isn't always matched with context. So sometimes like I'll just have my lines, and like Chris will kind of explain what's going on, depending on how quickly we have to do this. For some context, like we railroaded Wriothesley. Like I think I was recording. When did he come out? In October. I was recording him.
Yeah.
In like July, August. So like it was really fast, and we were doing a lot at once. So I remember some things about the lore involved, but like I don't remember a lot of things about the lore involved as well. So it's hard for me to answer that question.
What about the playstyle, maybe? Like the gameplay?
Playstyle is awesome. Like his playstyle is perfect. There's nobody else that boxes in Genshin. I hope there never is. I hope he remains unique. He's a ton of fun to play.
We have Hazo that is like kind of punching and stuff. I don't know if you played him.
No, I haven't.
It's definitely not the same feeling as Wriothesley for sure.
Okay. When I play as him, it's nice to like ignore any real tactics and just punch stuff. So yeah, it's very satisfying. It's really satisfying.
It is. I agree. So I think that's it for the first questions. We went a bit faster than the 30 minutes, but I think it's great. Maybe we'll have a few more questions from the chat. We'll move on to the great. We'll move on to the live Q&A. So you guys can request. We'll be able to request to speak, and the stage manager will move you to the stage so you can ask your question directly to Joe. All right. Oh, wait. So we're gonna stay on this one, and I'll check with the stage manager if they can give you guys the right to request to speak.
Cool.
I don't know where I can see the hands myself.
Hello.
Okay,
Hi.
great. Hello.
this is like my go-to question whenever I ask a voice actor. So, if you were to meet Wriothesley in real life, what would you tell him, and like, where would you go if you could leave the, if it was the Fortress of Meripede, or if you would leave the Fortress of Meripede?
I don't know. We'll jump in the ring and spar. Let's have some fun. You know, like why? Like, okay, we can go have a. I can go have a conversation with anybody, right? Let's go fight. Let's see what each other are made of. Why not? Yeah, I do that.
All right, that's cool. Is there like something you tell him, like, in person?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would like interact with him and talk to him about. Um, yeah. No, I'd let the punches do the talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. Well, you guys can keep raising hands, and we'll move you to the stage.
Oh my God. Hi.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hi. My question is, what was the biggest difficulty you had when voicing Wriothesley?
The biggest difficulty I had was actually like what I talked about a little earlier on, the idea of rectifying how like the dude's in a prison, right? And was a former prisoner and threatened to kill somebody outside of the justice system, but also has this great sense of justice. And his dialogue, the way it was written, was really formal. So finding that balance between being, um, you know, just your average thug, right? And someone who spoke so intelligently was difficult to navigate at first, but once we got into the pocket, it was nice. But I would say that's probably the most difficulty I had voicing him, for sure.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for asking. Oh my God, my hand's literally shaking
Welcome.
right now.
Thank you for your question. All right, next person. If you join the stage, you can ask one question, Victor, and then maybe later on we'll be able to bring you back if there's not anyone else asking question. But for now, one question per person. You guys can raise your hands and we'll move you to the stage. Well, I have a question in the meantime.
Shoot.
Did you ever think about cosplaying Wriothesley? Or have you cosplayed Wriothesley?
So yeah, I actually launched like a gigantic Kickstarter campaign earlier this year, um,
Oh,
to make like a cosplay music video, and that's actually
Okay.
happening in about 10 days. So we
Ooh,
met the
Mark.
Kickstarter goal, and I wrote the song. The
oh,
song is done, and I have the costume. The costume is done, and I have a shoot date. I'm going to shoot on August 14th. I'm sorry, August 15th and August 17th, and then however long after that it takes the videographer to make it. I mean, so yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited.
All right, go on, Freaky. Leila, you can ask your question.
Hey,
all
hey.
right. Hello. I would like to ask, besides Genshin, would you like to play other games like Weathering Waves, Senseless Zero, and like, Honkai Star Rail?
So I actually have almost no idea what Star Rail and Triple Z are like. Like I have no clue about that. They're so far off my radar. I'm not really sure like why. And honestly, I don't know if I would have played Genshin or if Genshin would have been on my radar had I not been a voice actor. It's not typical um, in my like gaming lineup. Uh,
Mhm.
so I mean, sure, I'll try anything.
Oh,
But yeah, they're not really on my radar right now. It's going to take me like the next 10 years to get through Genshin, so I don't know if I'll even make it there.
Well, thank you for letting me ask a question. My heart
course.
is like racing so fast.
Okay.
Thank you for your question, Leila.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
I could. Oh crap! My thing popped
Oh,
up. Oh
there's two
wait, what? There's
people.
2 people.
I can wait. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Hi.
Hi.
First off, I can hear my boyfriend laughing in the background. Yay. I'm an artist, so I give me a prompt and I will draw Wesley in it.
Wriothesley making breakfast, like a scrambled egg, specifically pancakes.
You got it. I will do it.
Rock and roll. I'm excited.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Would it be okay to DM it to you after it's done?
Don't DM me.
History.
Tweet me. Tweet me. I wouldn't be able to see the
Crap!
DMs.
I don't have Twitter.
Shoot
Alright,
it to
looks
me
like
somewhere. There's somewhere on the internet where you can absolutely tag me.
Alright, I'll figure a way. I'll find a way. Oh
Cool.
crap.
All right, JD, go on. Everyone
Okay,
else
I'm gonna go.
can
I'm gonna
wait.
go. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Joe. So nice to talk to you again. I helped you organize your first AMA on the Wriothesley mains subreddit.
Oh, cool.
So it's so
Very
good to actually get to talk to you. My
Yeah.
question was, I know that you've also cosplayed Claude before. Big fan of Claude. What has the process of doing the Claude cosplay and the Claude or the Wriothesley cosplay? How is that kind of differed between experiences?
I'll be totally honest with you, it hasn't differed at all. I don't make my own costumes, so all I do is I go to somebody and I say I need a costume, and then they make me a costume, and then I put it on and take pictures. The difference between because I've done 3 now. I did Summer Claude, which is basically just swim trunks, right? I did Summer Claude, but the like OG Claude, I didn't do anything in the costume, right? I just did a photo shoot. This one is like you got to see the shot list we have for this freaking music video. It's like intense. There's a lot of things. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but there's a lot going on that I have to do in this damn costume. And like so much so that I contacted the person that made it and I was like, would you mind being on set because this might get a little screwed up. So it's going to be interesting to like have to move in costume. But I will say like this costume versus the Claude one. The Claude one was a little cumbersome. Like the fabric was very thick. It was meant to be like puffy and formal. And this is just like Friday night in 1895. Like that's what this kind of vibe is going on here. So it's a little easier to get around in. The boots might be a little bit of trouble, but we'll see.
Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the AMA.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
So I wanted to ask because you said that you have watched Power Rangers when you were a child. I would like to ask, what was your favorite Power Ranger when you were a kid?
I think I like the Green Ranger. I don't know, maybe it was just that whole like, anti-hero, bad boy kind of thing, but like the Green Ranger was my favorite. I think I liked because he had his own little like Zord was a dragon or something like that, right? I can't remember what it was, but that's the one I liked the best. Yeah, I like the Green Ranger.
Yes, that's all I wanted to ask. I was thrilling, like I like I loved
Cool.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, good.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you have I hope you have a great day, night, or
Thanks. You too.
morning. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right, next person. I think we had Victor who raised their hand. Oh, Chaotic. Go on.
Hello.
Hi there.
I'm just gonna read the question that I put in the Q&A chat.
Sure.
Because Child spent some time in the Fortress of Meripede, how do you think Child and Wriothesley got along?
See, these are the questions that I never know how to answer. This is all new information. I had no idea that Child spent time in the fortress. Not even a clue. So how do I think that they got along? I don't know. I can see Wriothesley really putting Child in his place. because Child is kind of like I could see him stirring up trouble, and I could see Wriothesley having to come down hard on him and put him in line. I don't, for some reason, I wouldn't imagine that they would be great friends. I don't know why. There's just like a little something that says like their personality, not quite friendly. That's just my guess. Again, I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't even know he was in the fortress until 30 seconds ago.
Oh, sorry for the spoiler.
That's okay.
All right.
All right, next person.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
Hello. So it's more of a request this time, but unfortunately, tomorrow's my friend's birthday, and one of our favorite characters is Wriothesley, and I wonder if you can just greet her a happy birthday.
What's her name?
Her name's T.
T?
Yeah, as in the drink.
As
Tea.
in the drink.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Hey T, it's Joe Zieja here, voice of Wriothesley. Just want to say have a happy birthday. Hope you surround yourself with awesome friends like Not Carvin here. Have an awesome day.
Thank you very much, Café.
Yeah.
That's all. I can finally leave to go to school now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
That was kind of sudden.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hold up. I gotta find my little question here now. I didn't expect that. Hi. So I'm an aspiring voice actor. Firstly,
Cool.
thank you for joining this whole Q&A thing.
Yeah, totally.
As someone who's thinking about taking your VA course,
Mhm.
what do you think truly makes a voice match the character? I've been kind of struggling with this one for a while, so.
So the interesting thing that people think about, like the idea of like, I need to be good, I need to have a good voice, I need to like, there's the right thing. It really is. I like when you said the word match, because it really isn't about rejection, right? Like if you don't get a job, that's not rejection. It's just selection. I've cast many games myself. I'm actually directing one right now. And like when you go through it, there's just some je ne sais quoi of like it being in your head, and you listen to your voice and you go, oh, that's it. And then you kind of develop the idea, okay, can that person act, right? So is that person interpreting this character correctly? And if not, can I direct them in that way? So I think a lot of people, one of my coaches, I have like a team of coaches at my at learnvoiceacting.com. One of my coaches has a fun phrase he uses when he's evaluating some of my students' auditions, and that's "you've cast yourself well," which is about you seeking jobs and you auditioning for jobs that you know you can knock out of the park. Now, not everybody's going to know that right away, right? It's going to take a while for the market to kind of like mold you into what you do. But I think it has a lot to do with like your own personal taste. It has a lot to do with the style that you're working in, right? I don't know that I would have made like a really good Joel from The Last of Us, right? Like that's not necessarily my vibe. But if that similar character was in a different medium, it may have been more suited to me, right? Don't ask me to play an orc, right? Like if you like I talked about Jibby Blanc or Steve Bloom, like get them to do that stuff, or Fred Tatasciore. So yeah, I have a concept I call about when I teach about working from the center outwards, right? Like you find your center first, and then you can stretch, and then you can see where your comfort zone is and start prodding at the edges of it. But as far as like what makes a voice match a character, I think it really does end up being more about perspective. You can find all over the place characters that don't necessarily sound the way that like you think they should sound, but they're perfect because you're so much less focused on the voice and so much more focused on how that character views life, their point of view, their perspective. So it's both more narrow and much more broad than I think most people think about.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was my question.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question is, what was your first impression of the character Nouvellette when you first saw him?
Kind of like a cold, anal retentive kind of person, right? Like that's the vibe he gives off. That's like how, but that's how Ray plays him, and I think that's correct. So just like this really hard outer shell of a person, but there's something underneath, and there's probably like one person in the world who's ever seen it. That's my impression of Nouvellette.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. First, thank you so much for being here. It's very nice to meet you.
You as well.
Okay. My question is, what's your favorite type of character to play? Like bad guys or badass guys like Wriothesley?
You know, they're all great in their own way. I talked about this just a few minutes ago. Like, I like comedic relief, right? Because you can kind of throw out a lot of convention to be funny, right? I played the comic relief character in a game called Just Cause 4 that came out in like 2018. And that was like on the mocap stage and stuff like that, and the suit and the face cam and stuff. And so, like, my goal as this character was basically to just try to make everybody else screw up their takes. Right. And that was fun. Like, I got to play. No one was really expecting me to like find the grounded moment and do deep work. It was make jokes, right? Like be a buffoon. So I really do enjoy comic relief and the occasional villain.
Nice. That's very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Q&A is going to be recorded and be uploaded later on. So
Great.
If anyone wants to hear the questions again, you'll
Hear
be able
me?
to. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hi, I'm Lily, and my question is, since Wriothesley has a voice line that says, quote, I'd love to have pets in my office, but I quickly gave up on the idea, ellipsis. What are your thoughts on pets, and do you have any of your own?
I do. I have a dog named Lucy. She's a rescue mutt, and she is just a really awkward dog. But we love her, and yeah. So I like pets. It depends on, I didn't have pets for a really long time. I had a cat for a while. When I was little, I had like hamsters, but I don't think what I like about that line of Wriothesley's, and it kind of mirrors in a weird way, like my view on pets, right? If you don't have time for the pet, then don't get a pet. If you need to keep them in a small like room underground, like don't get a pet. And that's how I feel. So like in order for me to have a pet, I need to know that I can give it the time and attention it needs. Otherwise, like why be why be so selfish and like have a pet that you never can spend any time with?
I see.
So yeah, that's really,
I have one last request really quickly. I am currently ranked number 4 in Akasha's Wriothesley leaderboards, and I've been maining him since the day he came out.
Nice.
I want to ask for a good luck charm so I can maybe become rank 1 again as a birthday gift to myself in 11 days. I'm sorry if this is a little selfish.
May your ranking be blessed. Go get it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, next person. I think we'll have like a few more questions, maybe
Sure,
2
yeah.
or 3 more, and then
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is a bit of a funny question. I apologize, my voice sounds a bit groggy. I woke up a while ago. When you first got Wriothesley's role, did you struggle to say his name?
Yeah, we all struggled. I remember looking it up and like being just so befuddled. And then I walked into the session and like knowing that it was Risley. Like I knew it had to be Risley. Because I remember looking it up. I looked at different things. Like there's actually like a Duke. There's a Duke Risley. There's several other Risleys in history that and a Brit, because it's a British origin, would look at it and say Risley. And then I got to the session and they were like, we're going Wriothesley. And I was like, why? And they were like, look, that's just the way it is. And I said, okay. Thankfully, I very rarely have to say my own name. So yeah, I had a ton of fun, not telling people how to pronounce his name before the character came out. So
All right, all right. Thank you so much for answering my question. Have a good day, sir.
You too.
I think a
Bye
lot of
bye.
people went for Risley at the start, like
Yeah,
before
and
knowing how to pronounce it.
yeah.
I actually pronounced him Wriothesley back then.
Yeah, Wriothesley. Like, sure, I don't know. From what I
Okay, thank you
remember,
so
it
much.
actually possibly comes from two words, one of which means snout, and one of which means I don't know, but it was like a family of could possibly like a family of pig farmers. I knew it at one point. I've forgotten it by now.
All right, thanks for
Well,
your question, Marston.
thank you.
My Risley is actually 200. I used to be a rank 20 or 30, but I haven't farmed for him anymore for a while. So now I'm
Nice.
250, but still not
Nice.
bad.
Not bad at all.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry. I didn't expect to get invited at all, so I'm not prepared.
Me
But
neither.
I just wanted to ask, what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, I listen to just about anything. I like a lot of music, and I tend to move in like phases. I'm in a blues phase right now, but I like a lot of different things. I listen to a ton of video game soundtracks. If you guys haven't heard of Overclocked Remix, Overclocked Remix is like a collection of super nerds that remixes video game music, like reimagines them, not necessarily remixes them. I have, gosh, 60 tracks on that website that I wrote. I'm actually a judge there. I've been there with them for like the last 10 years. So I've listened to a ton of video game music. But I'll listen to classical, jazz, not much like, like Art Nouveau jazz. I generally don't listen to country. I like hip hop, but I stop pretty short of like Drake. Like a couple miles short of Drake. I don't generally listen to that. And I'm not much of a pop fan. But anything else is pretty much fair game. Like I love going to see live music. I'll go see a Fish concert, the day after I go see a bluegrass concert. It's all, or like a Foo Fighters concert or whatever. So yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff.
All right. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you.
Have you listened to the Risley theme? Yes,
and I was so off-put by it and here's why. Not because I don't like it, but this is how I think my psychology worked. I didn't even know he had a theme, right? For a really long time. I was already done writing my track when I heard it. And so like in my brain, I wanted it to be sounding like that, which is a little like almost like stomp clap Black Keys kind of thing going on. And so like it was just like it was so strange, especially considering the rest of the music in Genshin is so different from like the EDM dubsteppy thing that's going on with Wriothesley. It's cool. It fits like him in the boxing ring and stuff like that. But it was so different from like what I had imagined. But yeah.
All right, Hikari, you can go on with your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we all know that Wriothesley is a catalyst user. My question is, what other weapon could you imagine Wriothesley using or wielding?
Okay, so you have to explain to me what a catalyst is. Is that the book that floats around?
Yeah, that type of weapon.
It's the weapon, yeah.
So, and that always confused me because it's like, he's got gloves on. So what's up with the book flying? Like, I don't get it. So I guess like the answer would be like brass knuckles, right? Like but I don't know like the lexicon of Genshin weapons. So I'm not sure like what else in Genshin he would use. But if I could put anything, it'd be brass knuckles for sure.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, in Genshin we either have like big swords, bows, floating thing, which is like the books or like
Yeah, okay.
the orbs or stuff like that, and then I missed something I think, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
and polearm, yeah. So not a lot of, I mean, yeah, they're not like very flexible, but they're trying.
Okay.
Okay, that would be everything. Thank you very
Cool.
much.
Wonderful, wonderful. You said you were part of the Air Force, like military intelligence. So
Uh-huh.
I want to thank you for your service. But
Thanks.
while you were there, did you get to, of course, intelligence, but not a pilot? Did you get to fly anything? And if you did fly anything, if you didn't fly anything, what would you want to fly? Whether it be a World War II prop or modern jet?
Okay. So I did go into the Air Force thinking that I was going to fly. This was like at the border of like when it was okay. I needed eye surgery, but I don't know that I could get the kind of eye surgery that would have made it okay for me to fly. Regardless, I determined pretty quickly in my Air Force Academy days that I wasn't going to fly and I wanted to do intel instead. So I did not fly anything for the Air Force, although I was in a couple of different Air Force planes as a passenger or doing whatever. Fast forward, like, I don't know, 4 years after I got out of the military, I did go and get my private pilot's license. So I've flown Cessnas, like a 150, Cessna 172, Jaguars, just like really easy single engine land aircraft.
Right.
But like if I like a bucket list, I'd love to fly a P-51. And there's actually an airfield around here that has like the largest collection of running old planes in the world. It's like Chino. It's like an hour and a half in I don't even know if it's still in LA County. It's a cool air museum. If you've got, like a couple $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket, you can go jump in a Mustang, a P-51 and fly it around if you want. So I don't know. It's still on my list. Obviously, like I'm not qualified to fly a P-51. I have to fly with an instructor, but I would do it. That'd be cool.
I wish to eventually buy a P-51, but I don't have $3.1 million on hand.
Yeah, you
so
know what? It's
here
just
we
like
are.
it's the economy, right? In this economy, I
That's
can
what it
never
is.
afford a P-51.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Arius.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? I'm doing good. So one thing I wanted to ask is if you could voice any character from any show or video game, who would be your top pick?
I have two or three like pie in the sky dream roles. One of them is main cast of a Persona series. Now I've been in a couple of Personas now, but I'd love to be like main cast Persona 6 whenever that happens in 40 years. I would love to be the main character in an Assassin's Creed game, but good luck. That'd be cool. Just to like jump around on the stage and do stuff like that. I'm always jealous of Roger Craig Smith, who got to do that as Ezio. So yeah, I know that's probably those are my couple of like dream pie in the sky roles. They're real out there though.
Great. Do you have any other questions, Arias? You can ask another one if you.
No, that's all I was wanting to ask. Thank you.
Oh.
All right. Anyone else wants to jump in? Feel free to raise your hand. Raise his hand aggressively. Hello, Renemy.
Hi, hello. Hi,
Hey.
hi. Sorry if it's like a little technical, but I want to ask. I just want to say that your voice quality is really really nice, So, like, as someone who struggles maintaining my voice with public speaking, I wanted to ask if you have like a specific practice or warm up to keep in mind to like project your voice and speak very clearly and confidently for such a long period of time.
Yeah. So if you go back and listen to some of like my original voice samples, like 2013, like when I first got started, it sounds really different to where I am now. Like you can still tell it's me, but there's a lot of a lack of air support. There's a lot of lack of like volume and projection. And it honestly just came with tens of thousands of hours behind the microphone. If you want to fast forward that, and this is something that I really haven't done except once or twice, people say like, oh well, you can like at a voice acting coach is going to teach you. They're not. The voice acting coach isn't really going to teach you how to like utilize your anatomy. A singing coach absolutely will. So even if you intend to not go sing anywhere, just going to learn how to breathe is a great use of your time if you want to solidify that. But it has to come with practice. I mean, like literally reading for tens of thousand hours out loud in my life. Now I can sustain it for hours and like it not really be a big deal at a conversational level. Obviously I can't scream for an hour. Like learning how to learning your posture, learning like where like the tension in your voice is when you're feeling tension up here, when you're not feeling tension down here. There's a lot about your anatomy that you just come to either intuit over time, but I would say absolutely get a singing coach. Like a one-on-one live singing coach. Don't do it over Zoom. Do someone that like you can watch them like in the same space, and then work at it. Like it takes practice.
I see. Thank you so much. It's
You're
been
welcome.
an honor.
Thanks.
Hope you have a nice day.
You too.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All right. First off, I just want to say, as an American, thank you for your service.
Thanks.
But with Wriothesley, if he, do you like him being a cryo, or do you think there's another element that would have fit him better?
I don't think any other element would have fit him. There's like, like the whole hydro thing, like the whole the sea, the oh my god, what's it called? The stuff outside the fortress that's going to kill everybody.
Primordials.
Water.
Primordial sea.
Primordial water.
Like that sort of makes sense, but like he's just so cool, and I can't see him like like him throwing a punch and having it rain just doesn't have like the same effect as like a wall of ice. It's just not. I think it fits him perfectly. Maybe Geo, but I think ice is perfect.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That makes him very cool indeed.
I was going to make that joke.
All right, next person. Let me in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I wanted to ask if there was any other character in Genshin that you would have been able to choose to voice, who would it be?
Gosh, I wonder. Every time someone asks me that question about any franchise, I'm always like, but that person did such a good job. Like I wouldn't want Zhang Li to not have Keith Silverstein behind it. It just wouldn't work.
Because it suits him.
It really does. I don't know. Who's the one that Chiplock does? The one that I always pronounce wrong. Oh gosh, what's his name? Yeah, D-Luke. D-Luke would have been cool. I think I would have been able to pull it off for sure. Yeah. We could go with that because otherwise I'm just struggling to think about the characters in Genshin and try to figure out like who would fit my voice print. But yeah, like I'd probably go somewhere there. Child could work too. Griffin's like younger and pluckier than I am vocal wise. But I might have been able to pull off Child.
I feel like Ito maybe you could have worked as well. I don't know if you know who it is.
Maybe I don't know them.
Hmm. All right,
Thanks for the
that's it
question,
then.
Blank.
Thank you. Have a
You're
nice
welcome.
day.
You too.
A lot of people having raised their hands.
Bring it on.
Oh, hi again. I
Welcome
like
back.
how that happened up. Hi.
You're back.
Okay. Yes, I'm back. I'm back again. Okay. So I apologize if you're barking. Okay, I was stuck between questions, but now after what I just heard, Wriothesley versus Luke, who you think would win?
I don't know. I don't know that Wriothesley would choose to fight, but given the Wriothesley, the answer is Wriothesley. I don't know why I even hesitated. Like who comes on here and says that his character is going to lose in a fight?
Okay. I did have one more, if
Shoot,
it's
yeah, that
okay.
was short. Go for it.
Okay, this is my nerdy self kind of kicking in. If I've heard of this, where there's like D&D where people have played certain characters. If you were to play a character, would you play as Wriothesley in the D&D game? It was like Genshin based.
That'd be pretty cool. I feel like I'd almost want to do something different, right? Like I've already inhabited that character. I've done that thing. I might want to do something different, but like, could I? Would I? Sure. Yeah. Why not? Have fun.
Okay,
It'd be fun.
that would be actually very interesting one day. But okay, that was my questions. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yeah, do have a great day though, sir.
You too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a poof now. Bye. This is awkward.
I have a question as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wriothesley is pretty fit. He's pretty muscular. At least
Mm-hmm.
it looks like it in the game. Are you
Yeah.
working out? It seems like you're working out a little bit.
Yeah. I actually am dealing with like a little. I have like a tear in my left shoulder. It's minor, but like it's kind of inhibited me for the last, I would say, like 4 or 5 weeks. But yeah, I like weight training. I like mixing it up. I'll go bike riding. There's like a 20-mile bike path around me that I like riding on.
Oh, nice.
Occasionally, I'll jog if I have to. I play pickleball because I guess I'm a 90-year-old white man, which is a ton of fun and can be a good workout with a good game. If I could do a workout every day, it'd be parkour. I've been a parkour athlete for the last 10 years, though
Ooh.
I've had to take a break recently. Yeah, I love parkour. I love moving around an environment. I hope to incorporate some into the music video. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Never done parkour, but
yeah, I try to
sounds
mix it up.
fun.
I don't like I've tried the thing where like, you do 4 days of weight training and then like 2 days of cardio, and it's just so boring. I can't. I have to mix it up. It's got to be fun.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think a lot of people like don't work out too much because they feel like the only way is the gym, but there's like so many
there's just, like,
activities.
you just got to move. Like
Yeah.
we're just move. That's all.
All right, next person. Well, I think someone got in and then stepped down. Oh, welcome back.
I accidentally left. I'm sorry.
All good.
Hi, you're my favorite voice actor ever.
Hi, you're my favorite Leha Succubi.
Thank you. I would just wanted to ask, what's your favorite line that he says out of everything you've said so far?
So I have 2. There's either if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification, and the other one else is just don't break the law. It was so random. Like I remember recording it, being like, "Really, this is his idol line?" He just says, "Don't break the law." We're like, "Yeah, just say the line, Joe." But I've grown to love it.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to ask. You're amazing,
Great.
and I think you as well.
If you have any other questions, feel free, but otherwise,
Thank you.
Thank you.
don't break the law. It's pretty straightforward, simple,
It is pretty
clear.
straightforward.
Hello. So did you want to ask a question, or do you want me to ask a question?
No, we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, there's 2 people there. I was like, it's got to be you.
Yeah. Is it alright if we ask 2 questions?
Yeah, it's fine. You can.
Yeah. Alright. You go first. You don't have a question?
Just say that I really like Wriothesley and you have an amazing voice for him. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
All right. Now I have a question for you, sir. Do you play Genshin in English or Japanese?
English.
The first one to move is gay.
Say what?
Excuse
Wait, what?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't get it either.
The first one to move is gay.
Oh my god.
I don't understand the question.
No, it's just a meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the
Any actual
original
question?
meme is that like you ask somebody English or Spanish, and whichever they answer in, you say the first one to move is gay in that language. So I did the same thing, except I asked if you played in English or Japanese.
I see. Color me a little bit confused, but I'm trusting you on this.
Any actual question?
If you could pick one Genshin character to voice other than Ryze, who would it be?
We just answered this one. I think I said
Oh.
D-Luke, right?
D-Luke, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can.
I can hear that.
Yeah, I can honestly imagine that.
What about Honkai Star Rail characters? Would you voice the Honkai Star Rail character?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Which one?
I have no idea. I couldn't name a single person in that game.
Oh, I see.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Eventually.
No, it's okay. Sorry. I'm not not familiar with the Hoyo verse outside of like literally the sessions I've done and the small part of the game I've played.
Oh, fair enough. Thank you. That's all I wanted to ask, sir.
Of course.
Thank you.
My friends.
Thank you for your question.
No,
We
like
will we'll take a short break for 10-20 minutes. And during that time, if Joe, you can think of a random Genshin thing and give hints of what you're thinking, then we'll make like some sort of quiz where Chad will try to guess what you're thinking of, and whoever gets it right first in the stage chat would get a shout out from you. Does that sound good to you? Do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, I could come up with something, I think.
All right, great.
Okay, yeah, I've got something in my head. Is this gonna be like a bigger than a bread box, kind of like a 20 questions kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sure. I'm gonna pick something stupid, obscure.
All right, so I think maybe you give like 2-3 hints of what you're thinking, and then chat starts guessing, and then maybe I read some of the replies.
There's a bunch of it on a mountain.
Genshin related.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Core Lapis. I don't know if Joe knows like all the names of the rocks and
this
stuff.
This is gonna be a difficult quiz for both of us.
There's a bunch of it on mountains.
There's a bunch of it on mountain. Am I supposed to be like? Where am I supposed to be looking for the answer?
I mean, in the chat of the
event discussion. This.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be in the chat of this stage of this event. Didn't you have it earlier when you read like the Luke and stuff?
Yeah. There we go. It was just formatted a little funny. There we go.
Right.
Let's see.
Wriothesley on top of a mountain, maybe.
You have to blow up a lot of it.
You have to blow up a lot of it. Snow. A lot of people said snow.
Nope, not yet. I don't see any yet. Kay got it. It's Amber.
Oh, Amber. Okay. Let me double check if anyone said it before, but
Yeah, I was not quite looking where it was. I can kind of like search. I can see a little bit, but Kay was the first person that I saw.
Oh, someone earlier said Amber. Runt.
I believe
said
it.
Amber a little bit earlier. I'm scrolling back a little bit. Well, Runt and Kay, you guys got the right answer. Congrats.
Nicely
that was
done.
Fast, actually. That was pretty quick.
Nicely done.
So moving on, I think we'll take a few more questions, and then I'll let you check the. I don't know if you can see the Wriothesley VA Q&A
Yeah, I
text
can kind of.
channel.
I see it kind of bubbling up there.
Yeah. So we'll check that after. We can take like 2-3 more people from the chat to bring in the stage, and then we'll check like the
Yeah,
questions
that
you
sounds
guys
good.
popped last week. So you guys can keep raising your hands. I know some people have been raising their hands for a while. Hello, Crimson.
Hello.
Hey.
So Joe, I got a question for you.
Lay it on me.
All right, so you and Wriothesley are having a tea party. What kind of tea you having, and what kind of desserts as well?
So, one of my favorite teas I ever had is at a tea shop in London. It's just like their black tea. That's the tea that I'm having, for sure. With a scone. If you don't have a tea with a scone, like what's the point?
Fair. Or that's all I had to ask.
Sweet.
Actually, no. What is Wriothesley having? I didn't get that part.
Wriothesley's probably having a cup of coffee just to go against convention.
I assume with a scone.
Yeah, maybe a donut. Why not?
Fair enough. Yeah. Then yeah, no, that's all my questions. I hope you have a good day.
You too.
What's your relationship with Sijuin voice actor?
I actually can't even tell you who it is. How shameful is that?
All
Like
right.
I'd have to go look it up. We don't, we don't record together. We don't coordinate
Yeah, of course.
with anything. Like we're not in the same room. I've never been in the same room with them. I really have no idea. I don't think I would know who Nouvellette was if Ray didn't mention it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hello.
Hi there.
Do you think you could beat Wriothesley in a fist fight?
No. Absolutely not.
Why not?
First of all, he would I'd get frostbite. Second of all, the dude's been boxing his whole life. Like his hobby is just beating the crap out of people. I don't think I could hold my own. Maybe if we got to the
I think
ground,
you'd win.
right? Like I could maybe wrestle, but I don't even then it'd be tough. In a standing fight, no, I'd lose.
Maybe if you had a vision, if you get into Genshin and you get a vision.
Sure,
with,
maybe.
an element.
Maybe. I don't know what I would do with it.
I also wanted to mention that today is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've got about 10 minutes left, Kamemos.
All right.
I don't know if you want me to run through the some of the Q&A that's in there. I'll answer. I mean, there's hundreds in here. I'll never get through them.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you only have 10 minutes left, can look up for a few questions in the question channel and then wrap it up.
Yeah, I feel bad. I can try to go through these as quick as I can. Obviously, there's hundreds.
Yeah, just look for one or two. I'll try to look for another one or two, and then if you see one that picks up your interest.
Okay, cool. That is favorite line. First impression of Wriothesley, we did that. Favorite character that I've... My favorite character that I've ever voiced, well, it's not probably my favorite character, but my favorite job was Lego City Adventures. I got to play Duke Tatane for 4 seasons, and it was this crazy, great job that there's all of us. Very rarely are we in the same room, but in this case, it was classic ensemble cast style. So it's me and Roger Craig Smith and Fred Tatasciore, the voice of Dexter from Dexter's Lab, the voice of Johnny Bravo like James Arnold Taylor, who was like the voice of Tidus in Final Fantasy X, and like we just had a great time. That's probably like my favorite job I've ever done, and I did it for like 3-4 years.
I've seen a question more related to voice acting. What do you think can make a role challenging? I guess like what's the most challenging part about like a specific role in voice acting?
There's two different things that can make a role really challenging. One of them is a total lack of context. If I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing and they're just words on a page, I have to like make it up, right? And then the context doesn't fit. So a lack of context can make a role really challenging. And then obviously you have the vocal stress. Like for me personally, just Joe Zieja, not everyone else, but like if the voice has texture to it, like if it adds that kind of thing going on, that's really challenging really fast. So those are probably the two things that make it challenging.
Sounds good. Do you have a favorite anime? I don't know if you watch any anime.
You know, I watch a lot less now than I did when I was younger. But some of my favorites: Trigun's a classic. Death Note, great. Cowboy Bebop, if for no other reason than the music. Escaflowne was great. Code Geass, fantastic. I love Food Wars. That's probably the one I've watched the most recently that I loved was Food Wars. God, it's funny.
Yeah, Food Wars is great.
It's hysterical.
Would Wriothesley dip biscuits in tea?
No, I don't think he would. I think that's anathema to anybody like with a British background. I think.
Yeah.
I think like any real Brit would be like, "What are you doing?"
All right, maybe one last question. What is your favorite tea? I don't know if someone asked earlier.
Yeah, the black tea from that place I went to
yeah,
in
okay.
London. Yeah, that's probably my favorite tea.
Yeah, Olander, you can ask a question.
Yeah,
Got
shoot.
anything?
I was wondering if so Genshin does events with different characters. I was wondering if you had any ideas on what kind of event Wriothesley would be in.
Wasn't he just in one? Wasn't he in the? Oh, he had like a little tiny scene at the end of the Lantern event, right?
Yeah, he had a little bit.
He had a little bit. Man, I don't know. That's the only like event I have any experience with, so I'm not even really sure like what inspires an event.
It's more just like think of like random things that he would pop up in or be a part of.
Yeah, you know what? If you had like a kind of like Coliseum kind of event, like the whole Pancration ring kind of thing, I could see him having a lot to do with like organizing a boxing match, like a whole like Olympic boxing match kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. That might be an event that he would be a part of. Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, that's gonna be the last question from chat, and I think overall we covered most questions. I have one last thing to say. There's an art piece that was made for you that you will receive in DMs. Is it okay to send it to you in like Discord DMs? It's gonna be
shoot
sent
it to me.
from...
Whoever I know, email is so much better for me than Discord. So just shoot it to me via email.
All right.
Yeah, I know
And
you guys
then,
coordinated with my assistant for all this stuff. So just shoot me.
All right. And do you have anything else to say for after this Q&A? I think we're wrapping this up.
Yeah, it's been really great having you guys here. I saw a lot of voice acting questions. It's super easy. Like learnvoiceacting.com is where you go. If you're interested in taking any of my classes, all my classes are go at your own pace. So like I don't teach one-on-one except in like smaller programs. Yeah, that's really like that's all the like voiceover questions are answered there. I think for the most part, and I've got a ton of like content that I release all the time about voice acting and dissecting a career and making a business on YouTube as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Are you playing Genshin at the moment? Are
I am
you
streaming it
progressing
right
to the
now. I have
story,
to
or-
say, like with the game I'm directing, it's just been murdering my calendar. So I have had
Yeah.
to take a couple weeks off. It's streaming isn't like I'm not a streamer. I'm an actor that occasionally streams. So streaming is always the first thing on the chopping block when it comes to like total overwhelm. So like yeah, I was supposed to stream yesterday. Like I didn't stream this week at all. I may get back to it next week. But Tuesdays and Thursdays around 3:00 in the afternoon, I'll play Genshin for a little while at Twitch/Joe Zieja.
Awesome. And for everyone in the chat, just reminder that we have Himeko's voice actor coming in a same type of Q&A, live Q&A on the 25th of August. So make sure, I think the event is available at the top in the event category. Yes,
Amazing.
so you can also already check in.
Oh,
Thank
I'll
you
give
so
you guys
much.
a coupon. Sorry, I meant to mention that. And like usually when I interact with people at cons, this feels kind of like a con. If you use the coupon CONGOER, CONGOER, you'll get a discount on the Academy. So you guys get it. Yeah,
All right.
CONGOER.
Thank you very much.
Not somebody that's in the Congo. I guess it could be, but a con
Yeah.
goer. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Joe. I appreciate it. It was great.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a great time out there. Be good. Don't break the law.
Take care, everyone. And yeah, the VOD is going to be available later on, so don't worry if you miss some questions or anything. You can still rewatch it later. Take care, everyone.